Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are here and we're going to talk about the Bahrain Grand Prix. Absolutely wild. And let's just jump into it. So first of all, that was really the first race that I feel since I've been watching F1 that's been that close, that wild, unpredictable the whole time. And it was super thrilling, super exciting to watch that battle for the win. You didn't know who's going to win the whole way through. Verstappen, Hamilton, whatever, like back and forth between the two. It was so cool. And it was really good to see. So I guess we got to talk about the beginning of the race, of course. Going to the grid, Perez had his engine just completely, like, the car to shut off. And it was definitely wild. It was definitely like, oh man, here we go, second Red Bull car having problems. So he had to do a start from the pits, but he was able to come back and finish, I believe, in fifth. We can actually pull it up here. Race results. There we go. Where did he finish? He finished fifth, so that was pretty good. Of course, Perez, had a good result, and he also won driver of the day. So that was pretty cool. First race with Red Bull, get fifth, not bad. Only really one spot off of where he was expected to get for the team in general. They wanted to be at least fourth, so one spot off of that to come back from having to pit, start last, pretty impressive. I do want to say though, it was brilliant in the first lap and like the third turn to see Mazepin go off, crash out of the race. That was awesome. Super exciting to see that as well. Couldn't happen to, anybody else. Happened to him. Absolutely brilliant to see. The least races he finishes and the more times he crashes is absolutely fantastic. Because that dude sucks. So, with that cleared out of the way, pretty early on, it was the battle between Verstappen and Hamilton. They were just going back and forth, and pitting, and Mercedes did a very interesting strategy of pitting quite early, putting Hamilton onto the medium tire or the hard tires. And I was just like, well, Red Bull's got to pit, and they didn't. I'm like, oh man, they're throwing here first race of the season. I had no idea. Me and my brother were both sort of confused watching it. We're just like, what are you guys doing? But the whole strategy was going to work out, that he was going to pit last, Hamilton might have to pit more. He was able to, make it work. Hamilton, 7-time champion. Like, you're not going to put it past him to make something work that unexpectedly, And, things did work out for him in the end, and it was a close battle those last, 15 laps after he done second pit stop, Verstappen at his stop, to see them battling out the whole time, Verstappen getting closer and closer and closer. It was awesome to see. You'd watch the time gap. It went down from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and then he stuck around 4 for a little bit. Got a little closer. Got within a second with the DRS. And, he was able to complete the pass. And, you can discuss whether Hamilton maybe pushed him wide, whether he just went wide. But we just got to have a discussion about that spot. Turn 4, I believe. I don't know, their turns are weird, what they number. But I believe it's turn 4. Yeah. Turn 4, they kept changing track limits rules. I don't know what was happening with that. The FIA is always doing something stupid. So during preseason testing, it didn't matter. Okay, you could drive out there, go a little wide. And then first practice, it didn't matter. And then second practice, third practice, and qualifying, they were deleting times. And then in the race, they were only calling it if so ridiculous. If you gain an advantage, which anytime you go wider on a track in a spot to go faster, you gain an advantage. But they weren't policing it, they weren't calling it. And then all of a sudden, halfway through the race, a call comes through to Hamilton, from his team. You have to not go out there in turn 4. Like, it just changed all of a sudden, and then Verstappen went out there, made that pass. Again, you can question if Hamilton pushed him there, he just drove there. But they called it, and Verstappen had to slow up on one of the straights, let Hamilton by, and he was going a little wild trying to catch up, and slid the tires a little bit off one of the turns. He just wasn't able to catch him after that. But it was very, very close, but kind of lame that the FAA sort of, rules that they can't be consistent with come through and kind of affect the outcome of a race, Would Verstappen have probably just pulled away and won? There's a good chance. Would, that change how they were racing up until that point between saying to Hamilton, you can't do this, and when Verstappen made that pass in that spot, It's hard to tell what would happen at the time, but it's kind of unfortunate that track limits came through and caused that. But either way, if this is going to be what we see throughout the season, I mean, I cannot wait if we have 22 more races like this, back and forth between Hamilton and Verstappen. If we can get Perez and Bottas in a little bit more, it's going to be a great season, great battle. So, also in that race, Hamilton got the record for the most laps ever led in Formula One history. Pretty awesome there. At the time he broke the record, he had 5,112. Of course, he had a little bit more since then, but that was awesome to see him break another record like that. Really, really cool. Just, adding to these legacy and greatness within the sport already. So, cool to see with that. Other notes, Bottas had the fastest lap, and Red Bull had the fastest pit stop. So, any other notable drivers looking here at this list? Leclerc and Sainz both in the points for Ferrari. Very surprising there. Ferrari did not look good since 2019 when they were not cheating. So both of them in points is pretty impressive. Yuki Tsunoda getting points. First race out with AlphaTauri finishing 9th. That's pretty good. Looking on the rest of the list. Vettel, I guess, is a surprise to see him down at 15th. That's just very surprising to see the Aston Martin not race well, I guess. But let's take a look now at the driver standings. So right now, Hamilton, of course, with the win. First place, 25 points. Max Verstappen second with 18. So it's good to see, again, a close battle between them, because last year, Verstappen had an engine problem in the first race, and that was pretty much the championship over. So, to have him close, not many points in it there. Bottas with 16, of course, he had the fastest lap. So yeah, those are the top 3. As for constructors, 41 for Mercedes, to 28 for Red Bull, and only 10 behind them is McLaren with 18. So it's kind of crazy. 6 of the teams already have scored points this season, yet to score points: Alfa Romeo, Alpine, Williams, and Haas. But it's pretty good. Already 6 teams up there in the points. Constructors a little bit, a little bit further apart points-wise for 1 and 2, but, it'll probably get a little closer throughout the season. I'm sure there'll be a race or two where Perez isn't in 5th. If he can get 4th, maybe 3rd, that's the thing. That's how they're going to have to do it. They're going to have to get both Red Bull drivers on the podium if they're going to beat Mercedes that way. But this is looking like it's going to be fantastic season. So look ahead at the schedule. Next up is the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix from Imola. That is the 18th of April. So it's a few weeks away, 18 days. So it's, a little bit of a break there. But once it gets going, the race will start coming a little faster. Portugal, Spain, back-to-back weeks. That's going to be good. So, looking forward to that, though. So, got some good races coming up. I'm just so excited. Excited for the season, of course. A little disappointed for Verstappen didn't get the win. Of course, my pick to win the race, but still, second isn't terrible. So, just looking for a good battle. Otherwise, for videos coming up, we do have our race review video of NASCAR Bristol Dirt whenever those races happen. Of course, it was intended to be today at the time of this recording. It's 7:30. The dirt race should have been done for the Cup Series and trucks should have been going, but got rained out. So maybe tomorrow that video comes out. Who knows? But either way, thank you for watching. We'll be back on the 18th for a preview and a review of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. So see you guys in the next one.